Hey, hi, hello. This is Chaos and Cats. Podcast, in case you didn't know you were listening to a podcast for some reason.
Yeah, that's odd.
It's very odd.
But we're back again.
We're back again.
Whether you wanted it or not.
You guys are getting so much content. Even though I'm a little late putting up game episode 2. Whatever.
It's 2 hours on. So
I didn't promise you consistency, okay? I didn't promise you consistency.
I
said I would try.
Attempt.
I said I would try. But my name is Kaylee. Let's get that out of the way so we can get this intro and the music out of the way.
Yes, and that means I'm Laura.
That is Laura. That is Laura.
That is I.
That is her. That is she.
There. I did the intro for us.
No, the super long meow is like the is the end. The other one just
very much more vocal. Harley's like, fucking shut up.
Those are not our cats, by the way, because we can't get our cats to cooperate with us to let us record them. Yeah. I've tried. I tried holding mine hostage up here for like 10 minutes, and the moment I let go of her, she let out the best meows. But
it's
me
like
holding her,
follow them around.
Me holding her, she was like, no, let me go. She was like squirming and groaning and whining, and I was like, just meow. You do it anytime we're holding you and you want to be put down. Whenever you want to be put down and Dad's holding you or I'm holding you, you meow. Where's my meow? Give me the meow. No.
See, because I still do want to play the game where we have to guess whose cat's meow that is. That would be ideal.
That is also something we want to do, which will now end up being on the game episode. But
in the
we have to get
future when our cats
recordings of our cats meowing, but they refuse to work with us. So I don't know when that's happening for you guys, but sometime in the future, hopefully, we'll be able to do that game, and then we'll be able... excuse me. And then...
excuse me.
And then we'll be able to put their meows in the intro and outro music.
Aww.
But for now, you get what I get from the site I use for our intro music that lets us use music on our podcast and not get hit with copyright strike, because I paid for a subscription to be able to use the music.
But it is a good one. I would say that Harley sounds like that most, because Henry is so breathy and small.
Rudo sounds very similar to a lot of those meows. She does a lot of high-pitched and loud vocal meows, so one day we'll get them.
One day.
But that day is not today.
I was also seeing, I don't know if it's true, but if it's a cat fact or a fake cat fact, that's up to someone else to figure out.
Laura's got a fact for us, though, either way, whether it's real or not.
You're getting it. But I wanted to get your opinion because someone was saying that male cats are honestly more of the lovey-dovey, cuddly ones than the female ones are typically a little sassier.
You know, they say that, and yet my female is much more lovey-dovey than my male.
Okay, because it is true for me, so I was wondering.
I've had more female cats than I've had male cats in my lifetime, honestly. And honestly, all the female cats I've had have always been super lovey-dovey, affectionate cats. But, I mean, don't get me wrong, little boy is very much affectionate, but he does not like to cuddle very much. He used to when he was a kitten. He used to cuddle all the time with us. But it's very rare to get him to come and cuddle with us. And if you make the slightest wrong adjustment, he's gone. And he's not coming back. And he's very particular about being touched. he has to smell you before you can touch him.
Henry is like that as well.
Sometimes he doesn't care if you start touching him without smelling him first, but other times he will be, most of the time he'll be extremely offended. And also, if you will pet him for too long, he'll start getting a little bitey. Not in a mean way, but it's his way of telling you, hey, stop. I don't want that anymore. Like, he's very, very particular about his affection. He does like it. He is a very sweet boy. He's a very loving boy, but not like Rudo. Rudo, I can scoop her up. I can throw her over my shoulder. I can do whatever the fuck I want to that cat, and she just goes along with it and might protest here and there, but she just lets me do what I want to her. She lets me hold her. She comes and snuggles with us all the time. Like, she has to be snuggling with us.
See, I don't have any cats like that.
Rudo loves cuddles.
I want a cat like that.
She is very much a mama's girl, too. She's been coming around to her father much more. They very much did not get along. My husband and her did not get along when we first got her. He never really had much to do with her. But they've gotten much closer the past few years. She picks him now for cuddles sometimes. She never used to do that. She will curl up with him under the blankets in bed. She'll bug him to get under the blankets. She never used to do that. She's now been starting to do things with him that she only used to do with me. So she's definitely opened up to him more. But she's definitely much more loving and affectionate than Daruk. Because I can only pick him up and cradle him. Rudo, when I pick her up where I hold her butt and her front paws are on my shoulder. So when I say I can throw her over my shoulder, that's how I pick her up, is I basically pick her up and throw her over my shoulder, and then I just support her butt. And that's how I pick her up. Nick will cradle her, but she doesn't really like to be cradled, so I don't really do it, because I respect my cat's boundaries. Thank you very much, sometimes. But other times I'm just like, no, you're gonna get up to me. You come here. But Daruk can only be cradled. Anytime I've put him over my shoulder, he freaks out and he tries to run away, and he just doesn't do it. I've
never tried to cradle Henry because I feel like he's gonna freak out. And he's a big boy.
Nick basically forced Daruk to get used to being cradled. And that's the only way he can be picked up.
As an adult cat, though?
Yeah. That's the only way he can be picked up and held, is if we've got him in a cradled position. And otherwise, he's gone. If you hold him any other way, he just can't do it. He's like, what are you doing to me? Like,
he's like, I don't feel
yeah. Yeah, but he likes it more when Nick picks him up and cradles him than me, which slightly offended, but
rude.
Okay. But he will very much relax and just like practically fall asleep in Nick's arms. Like, it's adorable. So he's definitely affectionate, but
particular.
He's very particular, and I feel like that statistic is telling me that no, they're fucking like what Rudo is like, they are following you around, they're your little shadow. But this is my first male cat I've had from baby to adult. My other male cat I had, we didn't have him very long, because he was a feral cat, or well, a feral kitten, and then when we got him, he was just too much for my mom, so we went and gave him to a shelter. So I haven't had much experience with male cats, so I can't speak on it too much.
I don't.
But in my current experience, it's not really to that statistic. My female cat is definitely much more affectionate.
I think Harley and Henry are affectionate in different ways. Harley wants to be, like, get the love-ins.
Yeah.
But she doesn't necessarily want to give you the love-ins. You know, Henry is a bit more receptive. I mean, she'll do, like, the head bonks, and Henry won't. But Henry will, like, lay next to you or lay on you or, you know, cuddle with you.
Daruk will lay on and cuddle with you, but it's like after you've settled and you're not moving around and like he knows it's safe that he can come snuggle up and you're not gonna just suddenly jerk around or move or whatever. Like, yeah, he waits until like after we're like settled before he can come and lay with us.
Henry's hit or miss. Harley is more of the settled, and then she'll come and run on my pillow. She'll get pet for like 10 minutes until I basically fall asleep, and then she's out.
Oh, Rita will sleep with me for like hours.
Henry will not lay with us in bed.
Literally the other morning, I woke up at, what time was it? I think it was like 4 or 5. She came, she got in bed with me, and then I woke up at like 7:30 and she was still there. Same position, same spot. She hadn't moved. She was fucking conked out. She'll sleep all night with us practically. She'll sleep with us for hours, and then she'll get up, she'll go to the bathroom, eat, she might go sleep somewhere else, she might come back, like, yeah, no, there has been nights where he picks one spot snuggled up to me, she picks another spot snuggled up to me, and I am stuck.
For the rest of the night.
Hours. And I can't even roll over. I can't shift positions. And that's it. That's how it is for the rest of the night. And I'm like, are you guys going to get up at any point to go pee? Anything? No.
But also, I don't want to move in a way where they're going to leave all at the same time.
But I'm in so much pain. I'm in so much pain that I'm like, guys, I need to adjust. But they're there. They're there and they want to be there. And I'm like, that's great. And I love this. But oh my God. Nick got stuck in that position the other day. And he was like, I know you deal with this much more than me, but I need freedom. Please help me. When are you coming home? And I was like, not early enough to be able to save you. Sorry. I tried getting them up by dropping food from the auto feeder. Didn't work. And then I tried talking through it, and it got them to wake up, and it got their attention, but I was in the middle of Walmart, so I couldn't be super loud about it. Yeah. So I'm, like, quietly being like,
come here.
Guys, like, come here. Like, but I couldn't be super loud about it, because I'm in the middle of fucking Walmart, working, doing my job, writing an order for this store, and just fucking talking into my phone like a fucking crazy person.
Yeah.
But it got them to wake up, and from there he was able to get them to get up, and I was like, yeah, I have no pity for you.
Exactly, no.
That's my life all the time. Getting stuck underneath them.
That's how I was with when I had Nala more, but now I'll have Henry on one side and Mark on the other, and most of the time, instead of moving Henry, I'll be like, hey, move over to Mark, and make him move over so I can, like, move.
I can't disturb the child. Move over.
I know I can't. He's just too cute. Sometimes I will take his booty and, like, move it forward, because he'll end up just stretching all the way out on a long ways on our bed, and I'm like, bro, you can't do this whole scoot his booty.
If I don't have my legs, if I'm not curled up just right where she has to curl up with me, she will stretch all the way out, and then I'm just like, girl, you're so long.
Yeah. Like, your foot, he'll put his foot on my face,
you're,
and I'm like,
half
Henry,
the length of me stretched out. You're taking up the whole bed. God damn it.
Henry has one half of the bed, and then me and Mark are sharing the other half of the bed.
I want a California king, just so there's enough space for me, my husband, and all of our fur children to be able to lay on the bed, and nobody has to feel like they're gonna fall off. Yeah,
you can say move over 900 times and there'll be all the room in the world, alright?
Exactly. I just want a California king for those reasons. That's it. Like,
me too.
I just want a giant bed so me and my husband can peacefully sleep while all of our animals are surrounding us.
Yes. Absolutely.
Oh my goodness.
Want a bigger bed.
Oh yeah, I definitely want a bigger bed. I think we want a queen right now.
Me too.
Love it. We're both like, yeah, like a queen. But I think we want to invest in one of those. Is it the Tempur-Pedic? The one that you can adjust the beds. Like
Mark and I have
back.
One of those.
Nick wants to invest in one of those.
We do really like it.
Yeah, we just want I want to get a bigger one. If we get one though.
Yeah. Well, we can't. in any of the places we've stayed, we cannot fit a king size bed or mattress either into the house or into the room.
Right, and that's totally fair. Like, if you can't
Unfortunately.
if you can't fit it, then yeah, that's the reality of it. Is there a wall we can knock down? Some rooms we can join? Like,
maybe, honestly.
You know, like, make your bedroom a little bigger. Like, yeah, we can consult on this. If I ever finally get over to your house, we can consult on some ideas.
Yeah, because the wall right behind me is our bedroom. So, but plans ahead, because we might build off of this house more.
I was gonna say, and we can even plans to build on to the house, you know, expand, and then you can build a bigger bedroom if you want to. There's things that can happen. Not worried about that.
No, we got
That's
this.
so funny. Now that we're like 15 minutes in, how you doing, Laura?
Oh, girl, you know, pretty good. I don't have too much to report on. It'll be my
birthday. Okay, I don't really either, so. That's right. I have I think I have it in my phone.
I don't know how I feel about it, but it'll be soon, I guess.
You're gonna be 28, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, same age as me. I was gonna say, you're only a few months behind me.
Yeah.
It's so funny. Okay, it's so funny. All of my friends' birthdays, it's so weird. So it's my birthday, my friend Sydney's, then Amber's, Hope's, and then yours. Literally boom, 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 boom. All right in a row. Even my other friend Emily, who I don't see her very much, but I still very much care about her, and I pay attention to her on social medias. And even she's like right in there too. Like everybody, it's just like, it's me, Sydney, Hope, Amber, Hope, and then you, and just literally, I'm like, all of my friends are literally
honestly same though.
Right in the beginning of the year. All of our parents fucked at about the same time and had us all around the same time.
But also my parents, because my dad's in April, my mom's also in May.
My dad's an April baby, but my mom is a November baby.
My sister's
and my sisters were July, and my brother was November because he's like a week after my mom's birthday.
Okay.
A week or two. He was like her 21st birthday gift, basically. So he's like, that was my right mom's after 30th. Yeah, because I can remember my mom's, because hers is easy, because hers is November 1st, literally the first day of the month. My dad's is April 17th, and I only remember that because it recently happened, and also because I got my passport and I needed to know his birthday, so I needed to double check on what his birthday was.
Like, boom, got it. That's awesome. I love it. The only thing that's coming up in my life is on the 19th, I will be getting the start of my tattoo.
What are we getting?
You see. Wow.
You guys don't even know the way she just changed her demeanor and just like hands went up in the air like, well.
You see.
You see. I can't wait. What are we getting?
Well, the thing is, this is Mark's tattoo artist that Mark has been getting the sleeve of like wolves and then forest, and then it goes into like the night sky and it goes into his galaxy that he already has. It's like a full sleeve. Yep. And so Mark and I went there. Mark's talking to the tattoo artist about his tattoo and like what they want to do with it next. And they're like being, I don't know. Our tattoo artist is so sweet, but he does kind of look like a stereotypical, like all tattooed up.
A lot of them do.
And I'm just like, he's so nice. Yeah. And he always has his dog there, which is a cute little pitty.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, my shop, they always have like 1 to 3 dogs in their shop.
It's so cute. I love it.
I love it.
It does help. It makes me want another dog, but I don't want to talk about that.
No, it's fine.
But Mark was there. Him and Mark were talking about Mark's like badass tattoo, and then he looks at me and he's like, "And what do you want?" And I was just like, "Can I get a little fairy garden?" And he was like, "Sure."
I mean, honestly, that fits you so perfectly. The idea of this cute little fairy garden, some like fairies floating around, some cute little fairy houses in there, some flowers.
Some I want like all wildflowers, and then I want this. I was like showing him some pictures on Pinterest, and I was like, and look at this cute little snail, and he's just laughing at me, not at me, but like he was.
No, I totally get it, because I'd probably be laughing too if I was this guy, because he probably doesn't get stuff like this very often.
I doubt it.
But it's really fun and like different for him. So he's like, this girl's just like so excited over this fucking snail. This is great. I love this. Yeah. I love this. I love where this is going. Like a cute little fairy house or something in there. Like, yeah.
And I want the fairy to be like reading a book or something. And it's like just, she's so cute. And
ooh, you should have some like little fireflies almost in there. He's got to be able to do so. I don't know if you're doing color or black and gray.
I'm not. I don't think I'm going to be doing color because I like your color though, because it's like, what I was telling him is if I do color, I like it more muted.
Just a little bit. Exactly. Because if you have not gone to either of our Instagrams or found either of our Instagrams and seen what either of us look like, I have 2 full sleeves of tattoos on my arms. Laura has a cute little bird on her inner arm, and do you have another one?
I have like a blue jay holding a daisy, and then I have a origami.
Yeah. So I have a full Japanese sleeve on my left arm, and it is with color. So it was originally gonna be black and gray, but I felt like with the art style it should be with a little bit of color. But I told him I don't want a lot of color, and he did a really great balance of the solid black background and a lot of the black line work with the colors mixed in. Like, he did a really awesome job with not overdoing the color for me. And then my other arm is a forest sleeve with Mother Nature. She looks like a tree, but she's Mother Nature. It's a tree lady. I have two sleeves with 2 ladies. With each having a lady as the main focus of the tattoo. And I think that'll be so cute, having a little forest. And if you do have color, just slight bits
just
here and there.
Here and there, absolutely.
But not much. But I think that'd be cute if you had, even if you did mostly black and gray, with a little bit of color, like some little fireflies, just
I do really like just
put in like in random places in there, because you are doing like a fairy sleeve, and I feel like fireflies and fairies just kind of go together.
Yes.
And I feel like that'd just be so cute, even if you
did
it in black and gray,
because
I'm sure he could manage to make it look like a firefly, even in black and gray.
Because it's going to be quite zoomed in, so you can see the bugs and the leaves and the little things.
So cute to have like just a few little fireflies spaced throughout it. I think that'd be so cute. I'm so excited to see this.
And I appreciate the firefly comment, because fireflies do mean a lot to me, because it brings back like a lot of childhood memories. But I've been trying to think of other bugs I want, because the snail was super cute, and I do like dragonflies, but I don't like dragonfly tattoos. I don't know if I don't know why. They just look totally very insecty.
You could do some cute little, instead of the big monarch moths, you know those like little white and little yellow ones? That they have? I think that'd be kind of cute in there. Like those kind of butterflies. Like the smaller ones. Yeah.
Definitely.
I definitely think
little baby ones.
Ooh, ladybugs would be really cute in there. Some ladybugs.
And I love ladybugs. Absolutely.
Yes. I think like little ladybugs in there would be really cute. The snails, some little fireflies, like the little butterflies would be really cute in there. I think that would be perfect, like that set of bugs, because you don't want too many. I think that would be perfect for you. Some little ladybugs, some fireflies, the little white and yellow butterflies, and then your little snail. Or multiple snails, whatever you're doing.
I don't know.
You can do a couple little snails.
I wish I had bigger arms. I don't know. I just feel like I don't have enough room.
With my forest sleeve, I have a couple of bunnies. I have a lion. I have a little bird. I have a deer, and then I have a little chipmunk.
Yes.
A little squirrel. Well, a little squirrel. It's a little squirrel. I've got the little squirrel, and then I do have some birds up on the upper half of my arm. It's on the back of my shoulder, but not on the back of my shoulder, so they're not as like.
You have a blue jay in there, right?
Yeah, it's up here. The other birds are up here on the top of my shoulder area.
We both have blue jays, and I think that's cool.
But yeah, and I still have to fill in this little space right here. And
Yeah.
I still don't know what I want to fill it in with. I almost kind of want to put a snake in there.
That would be cool.
Crawling along the forest floor. I think that would fit in and like really fill that gap up. Because I ended up filling this space with a little river. All of this right here ended up being a little river. I'm almost tempted to go and ask her to fill in my elbow. Because I kind of hate that it's this just empty space.
Yeah.
There's just this part of me that hates that it's an empty space. And it doesn't really look super empty when my arm is like that.
Yeah,
but just
it's open.
for me, it feels like an empty space.
Especially since your other arm is fully...
But then you look at my other elbow, and he went to the tip. He went to the tip.
Swirl. It's so cool.
See, so my tattoo artist put a swirl on my elbow, on my left arm,
cool.
and he went right on to the tippy tip of the bone.
Now, when you get it tattooed, do you hold it like this?
Yeah.
Because this looks like a lot of skin.
I'm pretty sure I was like this, and then he just pulls it tight. Because they usually will pull it tight. They put you in, like, the best position they can that will work for the tattoo, but will also be comfortable. But yeah, I was, like, kind of slightly bent. So the skin was nice and taut. And yeah, he was just going ham on it. I was like...
I don't like that.
No, it was not fun.
It's so funny because I was talking to the tattoo artist, and Mark will sit for like a 5 or 6 hour session or whatever, give or take. And this guy can't do too long of sessions. He says he's been tattooing for a long time, and it's just it's a lot on his body. And I'm like, good, because
I tell my artists, when you want to take a break, I'll take a break. I'm good. I can sit for a while. So if you need a break, you let me know. I'm fine with that. Because that's what I do when I got this sleeve done. When we did it, because we did it in like 2 or 3 parts. When we did it, we went for a couple hours before she finally took a break. I told her because she asked, she was like, do you want to take a break? I was like, no, whenever you need to, I'll be fine. Just let me know when you need one. I can sit. You're good. I'll tell you if I'm in too much pain, but like I can sit, so just let me know when you're ready to take a break. And she did. She was like, all right, I gotta go pee, so we're gonna take a break. And I'm like, cool, I can go pee. I'll be like, yeah. And then I'll use that as the opportunity for me to go pee and whatever and stuff. But yeah. Yeah, I can sit for a while, so. But
I don't know.
Most artists are understanding if you're open and honest with them from the beginning that you're probably not going to be able to sit. You're probably going to need multiple breaks.
Oh no, I'm not gonna. I'm gonna need multiple sessions.
That's fine
because I'm like this. My bird was 2.5 hours, and by the end, my body was trying to leave the chair, and like I couldn't even like control it.
And that's totally fine though. That's totally fine. You could
he was
also
very
try.
Nice about it.
I don't know if he uses numbing cream, but that is an option.
I want to try numbing cream mostly in the areas that are extra painful, which I didn't realize this chicken wing part of your arm is quite a painful spot when I first got it.
Well, you've got to remember, it's kind of like a soft, sensitive area that doesn't see much abuse. It's tucked against you, so it's a much softer part of your body, and the softer parts are...
It's gonna hurt as much until it gets to my wrist.
I don't think the forearm hurts that much in this general
I know this
area.
one was 10 minutes, but it didn't hurt.
This motherfucker right here.
Yes, that's what I'm worried about.
Hurt. In the wrist area, like around the bones, and that's that fucking hurt. Yeah, because my Japanese sleeve goes right down to my hand. Like it goes right to the base of my hand. He went all the way down. He went as far down as he could there, and he went as high up as he could on my inner arm.
That's what I'm worried about.
He went really close to my armpit. He went real close to my armpit, and you know what? I'm totally fine with that. If I had the balls to get the inside of my armpit done, I would, but I don't think I have the balls.
I've seen people who have done it, and it's insane.
Oh, I have a really good friend of mine. It's funny. He used to be Nick's weed dealer, and then he's the one who helped me. He basically said, yeah, she's cool, hire her at my first job, and basically got me hired there, and then became my bestie. It was so funny. He was Nick's like weed guy, and then he became like one of my best friends. Like I fucking loved working with this dude, and it was so funny that he ended up becoming my friend.
That's just how it went. All right. My weed dealer was like my friend,
and he got both of his armpits done. I'm pretty sure. And, yeah, he even said it was pretty fucking gnarly. But this guy also got, like, his conches punched. They basically take out a chunk of the flesh and create the big gauged hole. Instead of you having to stretch it, they just punch out the flesh.
You're just taking a hole puncher to your ear?
Not a hole puncher, but it's a very specific circular sharp blade that they take and they punch through it. And
it's a hole puncher at this point, right? That's
and they create the hole, yes.
That makes my whole body just shiver.
Yeah, that one was a bit, oof. Couldn't do that, but...
We gotta stop.
But, yeah, no, so...
but the tattoo artist is like, oh, just send me a few pictures, you know, and that's what I'll just like work off of to create what you want. And Mark was like, yeah, she has a lot of pictures, and I was like, yeah, what happens if I send you like
if you
20
want
pictures? And he was like,
probably.
He's like, that's fine. Circle things that you really like about each one, and then send them to me.
I was gonna say, like, just be specific of what you like in each picture, what you don't like, and tell it, like, because that's what I did for certain things on my sleeve. Like with my Mother Nature, I found it took me forever to find someone who drew a tree female in the way that I was picturing her. Yeah. And it took me eons, but I finally found it, and I was just like, all right, I want to do, instead of doing it how they did it in this picture, I want her hair to look like this, and then I want her body to be very much tree-like, you know, XYZ, I want her feet to look like their roots, you know, like, I was like, all right, here's what I like, here's what I don't like, you know, and then with other things, I was like, all right, you can take creativity on this because I'm not really sure, and then I'll see what you do. And if I don't like something, we can change it. And if I do like it, then we'll just go with it. Because I love giving the artist as much freedom in the creativity process as possible.
It's their whole job. Not that, but like they're just because, like, experts at it.
Exactly.
Is what I meant by it's their job.
I don't have the talent to create the image, so I find someone that can draw or create in the style that I like, and I go, hey, I want to give you as much creative freedom as possible with this, but here's just the things that I specifically am looking for in here, and the rest is up to you. Absolutely. Go ham. And go and just design.
Like Mark's tattoo artist, because that's what Mark did, is sent him a few things that he liked, and he just created this whole thing. And I'm like, oh, this is who we need right now.
And that's what my two artists did, because my left arm, he's sadly no longer tattooing. He's just doing art. He's doing paintings and stuff like that.
For him, though, that he's still able to
and I think he's doing them, and I think he's also like selling art and stuff like that. So he's like gone down a different path, which fucking fantastic for him. I love that for him. I'm glad he's like still doing something in the art world, because he's a very creative and awesome and talented person. But and same with my other artists. Like, I just went to them and was like, here's what I like, here's what I want in there. And then from there, just fill in the blanks with your creativity and go for it. And if he had questions, if either of them had questions, they'd ask, and I'd be like, yeah, no, but like maybe this or whatever. And then when I got there the day of the tattoo, we'd put it on, we'd go over it like, is there anything you don't like about it? Is there anything you want to change? And I would go through it, and honestly, I never end up changing anything, because they end up hitting the nail on the head fucking perfectly.
That's what I'm hoping for, because this
Steph
tattoo
is
artist...
amazing. She's so creative, and I fucking love working with her.
Is that the one who did your second?
Yeah, and she also did my dagger, which she did such a phenomenal job on, which
beautiful.
I want to build off of that. I've come up with more for it. I want to take the poison ivy on it, and I want to make it go up my side and like up like the side of my boob. Like kind of cup the side of my boob. But I want the poison ivy to just go up my sides and just like go up. So I'm gonna like kind of do something like that. But yeah, so like I'm excited to do that, but I know her books are pretty full for the rest of the year, and I'm very sad about that.
You'll have to text her, and
I have to text her and be like, get me in for the beginning of the next year. I swear to God.
I swear to God.
I swear to God.
Well, that's exciting. And I'm excited.
I'm excited for yours. I'm excited to see what he comes up with and what when you start. I'm so excited.
Me too, because he also has to incorporate the blue jay and the flower that are already there.
Oh yeah.
Which leaves all of this back of my arm space completely wide open. And I think he had a hard time trying to figure out how to fill that in. And in my brain, I'm thinking even just if it was some mountains, I think it would look good.
So, because for your base, for like down here, where do you want your fairy? Where are you putting your like fairy, your main imagery? We're building Laura's tattoo right now. We're building Laura's tattoo. I don't even care. I don't fucking care. You know what? This is today's episode right now. Welcome to the beginning. Fuck the check-in. We're talking about building Laura's tattoo, okay?
We did a whole episode of you talking about where tattoos came from.
Exactly. Fuck you. This is what we're doing, all right? Okay, all right.
No, okay, hold on. So I'm thinking, because he's saying, kind of like my blue jay, he wants the fairy to be like the main piece.
Right.
Because then he can build behind it and that will stick out. And I'm like, that's awesome. So I don't know. He didn't say where, but obviously it's going to either be like here or here, I'd assume. But I think here would be cute.
I think on the inner arm would be cute, or because it would off-bounce, because your blue jay is pretty centered with your forearm. So I think if you were to turn your arm just a bit and do it more, turn it the other way. Yeah, like more on top of your forearm. Then
I'm just gonna lower my camera. Okay, can't apparently.
More on top of your forearm, maybe. All right, so that's your inner. No, other way. Like maybe more over on that side. Like
I think that would be cool, because then also if this is all plain of like forests or whatever, this would really stick out on this side.
You've got your inner arm, which lines up with your blue jay, which I feel like could end up not making your... Actually, now that I'm seeing it... Actually, I think it would be good on the inner forearm. Now that I'm seeing your arm like that, I think the fairy being on the inner forearm would actually be really good.
Like right here?
Right in there.
I do like it because also...
Not so low on your wrist. Not so low.
Yeah,
a little up more, but I think like, kind of like maybe in that, like... Right in that area.
I want to be able to see it.
Oh, yeah.
So if it's on the back of my arm, I'll be a little bit more sad, but I understand if it looks the most cohesive
inner
that way.
Forearm, I feel like would actually be fine. Not super far down, a little bit up more towards your inner elbow. But
I told him too. I was like, I also have boomerang elbows, so good luck. And he was like, boomerang elbows. But,
boomerang elbows?
But that's what they've always been called, because they're just out of control. Look at that nonsense.
Yeah, they're bent.
They are very bent.
Yeah,
and
you have more of a curve to your arm.
And I've always been, my family used to make fun of them all the time and call them boomerang elbows. And when I got my little baby first tattoo done in Japan, I put my arm down. And he was like having a real hard time figuring out where to center it, because my arm was like, boom, like a literal boomerang just off of his little chair thing. And he's just like, what the fuck do I do? And obviously he doesn't really speak English, so I can read it all over
together.
We do, so I will cry. Also, I am thinking, I know all about how to help people in labor and delivery, so I'm going to use those techniques during my tattoo session.
I mean,
literally, if you put a comb in your hand and you squeeze it, it puts like all that pain and pressure here, and it like redirects it. And I'm taking it. I'm going to do some breathing.
I was going to say, the best thing you can do for yourself, which, I mean, these are things I do. I mean, I don't usually hold something in my hand, but I'll squeeze my fist if I need to, or, like, I'll bunch up my, like, sleeve or something if I need to.
I need to bring the pain somewhere else.
Or, I just sit there and I focus on my breathing. And that can very much help you if you just focus on something else. You have to find something to put your focus on other than the pain, or ways to divert yourself or the pain, so that way you're not like making it worse for yourself. And just, if you're in too much pain, make sure you communicate it.
Absolutely. And I plan to bring my headphones so I think Mark might go. It depends on if you can get off from work, but I'm going to bring my headphones so I have my music. And honestly, I'm going to look at him. If it gets real bad, I'm like, hey, can I start singing right now? Because that's the only thing that ever calms me down. He's going to be he's going to have the day of his life, alright?
I was gonna say, my tattoo artist almost always put on like movies or something, and I'll usually end up like
I just know he doesn't.
Like, yeah,
he has a whole playlist.
That
he puts on his own music that for him to get in the zone.
Yeah, Yeah.
And I get that, because my other tattoo artist asked me if I wanted anything specific on, and I was like nervous, so I said no.
Oh.
Yeah, but I know he listens to his own thing, so I'm just gonna bring headphones.
When I got my left arm done, my Japanese sleeve done, we watched a bunch of different movies because he had like a huge VHS collection. So we would just pop in a random fucking movie. We watched a couple of Lord of the Rings for a couple of sessions, and there were some other movies that we watched. Like, we just watched a bunch of movies.
I love that.
We did that one. And then when we did my right arm, she would put something on the TV. She like put Scooby-Doo on one time. There was like a couple other things that she put on. And that would be muted, but with subtitles, and then she'd have music playing.
Okay.
So I could be distracted visually, but I would also be listening to her music, and it was just kind of nice, because sometimes the music would go along with the episode, too. And it would just match up, and I'm like, oh, this is so visually and, like, audioly pleasing. This is just pleasing me right now. Like, she would also talk to me and make conversation throughout, because when she converses with you throughout the tattoo, she can kind of gauge where you're at pain-wise. Like, if you go quiet, she knows you're in pain. Like, she's like, you've gone a little quiet on me. How you doing? And I'll be like, you're in my fucking ditch. Get out of it.
And I'm like, whoopsies.
Yeah, she's like, oh, literally didn't even know. And I'm like,
he's so sorry.
I'm so glad you didn't know. I'm so happy for you.
Get fucked. But I was actually like doing research for my tattoos, and I came to this conclusion where I think that's going to be this whole sleeve is fairy gardens and my bird and whatever's over here. And
I was going to say, because if you didn't tell him to put a fairy house in, you could do a little fairy house hanging on a tree. Like, on the back of your arm, you could do, like, a tree with, like, it doesn't have to be huge, but, like, a little fairy house for, like, maybe more in the background where you can see the little fairy house, like, floating, or it's like the base of a tree, because you know how like you can build fairy houses out in the woods, and like people will go down to the roots.
I just saw one of those the other day.
You know, you go to, and a lot of people pick down in the root area, so you could have like a big tree, and then you could have at the base the little fairy house like in the roots. Yes. And like do like the door and like some windows in the tree trunk, and then I think that'd be really cute.
I think that would be so cute.
Have like just on the back of it,
stuff.
On the back, just a nice big beautiful tree, like an oak tree, something, whatever kind of tree you like the look of, and then make it so that he's focused in on the roots, and then you see her house built into the roots, and maybe a little way up the trunk you see a couple of like windows. Yeah. I think that'd be so cute.
That is cute.
Something like that.
Because that makes sense with the zoomed in stuff, you know? That makes sense with the zoomed, where it's already zoomed in on the trunk, because it would be zoomed in on, like, the soil and the dirt that's down
but
too.
Find the look of a tree that you like at the base, you know? Find that kind of base that you want there on the arm, and then tell him, all right, let's build her home into the base of the tree and make that the focus on the back of your arm. And that'll kind of fill in that space a bit more, but still tie into everything else, because obviously a fairy's got to have a little home.
Of course she does.
She's got to have a little home. And why not some big magnificent tree that she found, that she went and she was like, that's it, that's the one. I'm going to live in that big beautiful tree.
I think that'll be great. And I mean, the bird is incorporated into that, because obviously they live in trees. I
think that kind of ties it in, and then that way you don't just have like mountains in the background. Because I think that they can still be there in the background somewhere if you still want to do that. But I feel like it'd be really cute to just have,
I think so too.
The tree there and like her home in it, and then you know where she lives too, and you kind of have like this whole story going on your arm. I kind of like the idea of like a little bit of a story sometimes when you do like full sleeves, because it just doing one big cohesive sleeve, I just think it's really cool when it can almost tell a story of like, here's the main focus, and here's all the little side characters in her life, and here's her home, and you know, like, just I think that'd be really cute. I think that'll look really good on you.
I agree. And that'll like make it perfect for like, I want this to be like all girly and fairy and
very
cute.
Feminine.
Exactly. And then on this side, because I was looking at just trying to figure out all my tattoos that I want to send to this tattoo artist, and I saw this one of this badass girl on riding a dragon, and she was all in this armor and
Yes.
stuff, and I'm like, this is gonna be like my fairy dainty side, and then this is the side of me that you don't want to fuck
Like,
with, and I'm
but,
like,
that's the
I'm
thing.
so excited.
I think it's so funny because we're both gonna have contrasting sleeves, because I also have contrasting sleeves. Like, they're both still feminine.
Yes.
They're both still very feminine,
Female.
but my left arm
Orient.
is much more bold and like intense, and like you've got a cat literally sitting there holding a sword, which I call him her guardian. He's her guardian cat, basically.
I love that.
So I have 1, 2, 3 cats on this sleeve. My goal in life is to get as many cats tattooed on me as possible, without it being so obvious that I have a shit ton of cats tattooed on me, because I've already got more, because I've got a lion, I've got a little Hello Kitty, I've got 3 little Mon Mon cats in this sleeve. But so they're kind of like her protectors, is kind of how I view them, because I have a big, the main focus of my sleeve is my geisha. I haven't actually said that yet, but I have a geisha on my sleeve. And then these guys are kind of like her guardians, her protectors, you know, kind of idea is kind of what I was going for, because she is crying. She is like, there's a whole thing to it. This tattoo does have actually like a lot of meaning to me. And I am very much also, no, I do not think tattoos have to have meaning. No, you can get a tattoo. I want a tattoo of a bottle of fucking Frank's Red Hot sauce, or Frank's Buffalo sauce, because I fucking love that shit. Tattoos do not have to have strong fucking meanings to them, trust me. I am not one of those people. I will happily get random shit tattooed on me, but I just happen to have my sleeves tend to be both tell a bit of a story for me. But like, I love that, because like then my right arm is more feminine and like girly and not as bold. They're like smaller, thinner lines and just very contrasting. When I look at myself in the mirror, sometimes I look and I'm like, wow, God, I have 2 very different sleeves. I have two different
personalities coming out depending on
Literally.
which one you're looking at. I love
Mm-hmm.
it. So this will be fun. I'm gonna have to not be a baby.
It'll be okay. It'll be okay. I'll come sit in your tattoo appointment with you. I'll come hang out with you for the day.
Thanks. Okay.
Hey, maybe I'll get a tattoo from this guy.
You probably really like him, honestly.
Honestly, I'm always looking for tattoo artists. So,
well, if Mark can't go, what you doing the 19th?
like this month, the 19th?
Yeah.
I am not doing anything that weekend. Because it's funny, so the weekend before that, the 11th, we're going to the New Hampshire Renaissance Fair.
Ooh. What town in New Hampshire? Oh, unless you don't want to. Although this will be months ahead.
This is gonna be out. I'm gonna been there and gone by the time this is out.
We'll be back in winter by the time this comes out.
Hopefully not, but yeah, basically. It's in Fremont.
Okay.
But it's not super expensive to, like, if you and Mark want to, like, join us and, like, meet at the Ren Fair.
Wouldn't have anything to wear.
You don't have to dress up if you don't want to. Nick and I will definitely be dressed up, but you don't
want
have
to dress
to.
up. I just don't have anything.
We could find you stuff there too. They do sell pieces there. We could slowly build a costume for you if you wanted to.
Very cool.
Because that's kind of what we've done. Is we've gone with like basic, like, shitty things from Amazon, and then just slowly bought stuff at Ren fairs and just built up our outfits, which this year I'm going with something completely different.
I'm excited because I loved your last year's options.
Yeah, and I did post a picture of, like, what I'm doing. It was that one where I had the little face covering and I was holding the swords.
Okay.
That's the outfit that I'm planning on wearing. Like, that's kind of what I'm doing. So it's a whole new outfit for this year, but I still have to also find other pieces for this one and, like, things like that. But that's what we did. We just built our costumes. Nick went as Link to our first one, and then when we went to the New York one, he bought more of like a pirate styled one, which is the pictures we posted
Mm-hmm.
from last year's Ren Fair. Like, that's what he ended up wearing. We just bought all of our pieces at the Ren Fair. So, if you want to join us next weekend on Saturday, meet at the Ren Fair.
We'll have to see. I'll have to check in with Marky Mark.
Yeah, because tickets
on?
aren't super expensive either. Let me see here. I can edit this part out. $20 per person. $20. That's not bad.
That's not bad at all.
Yeah.
What time would you be getting there, you think?
It goes 10 to 5, so I don't know, probably somewhere around 11 or 12. We'd probably try to get in for somewhere around noon. Not super early. Yeah, but if you just literally Google New Hampshire Renaissance Fair, it will come right up.
And it is an hour and a half from my house. Fremont
That's
is.
awesome, because it's literally an hour and a half for us.
Why do I keep coming up with this?
We keep finding halfway points, and it's so baffling to us every time we find them. We're like, that's halfway for us? What?
Interesting.
But we're learning all these halfway points, so when we ever get to that point of getting a shared space to record together, we'll know of all these little places to look.
Yeah, because so far it's Salem and Fremont.
And that other coastal town that we went to that we can't remember which one it was that we met at that first time.
Yeah.
Where we took pictures together. I'm sure in our messages, if we were to go back, in our Facebook messages, we'd be able to find it, but...
I feel like we should go back, though, and just reenact them for Chaos and Cancer.
Honestly, we really should. We truly should. We'll figure out where we went, and we'll go take new photos. And we will
this time in
them.
The summer, please.
Yes, absolutely.
I cannot believe we did that.
My hair will be short again, too, because I'm planning on chopping my hair in a couple of weeks. It's gone. In a couple of weeks, it's fucking gone. I'm getting rid of this shit.
For once, so we'll be opposite.
That's okay.
Well, that's exciting.
Yeah, so
we'll
if you guys want to go.
Marky Mark.
Yeah, we're going to go on Saturday, because that's Nick's day off, so...
Sounds good. Mark and I also have that day off, so I just don't know if Mark has anything going on because he's so busy. He's like, God.
Well, tell him that if he wants to go have fun for once in his goddamn life, then he should come and we should all go and join. I'm not really, but you know, if he's got nothing going on, then you guys should totally join us.
I agree. Also, another question for you: how far away is Algonquin, Maine?
From me?
Yeah.
Not far at all, baby girl.
Really? Because that's where my aunt lives. Not to put her info out there, because I just...
Algonquin's basically the border.
Okay, so I feel like at some point this summer, I think my dad and I are probably going to stay there for a couple days, so we should get together.
I'm happy to join you guys for a walk. I'd love to meet your dad. I would love to meet your dad.
My dad's awesome. You would love him.
That'd be so fun.
He's always so sweet and asks about our podcast.
I was going to say, I feel like he's so
supportive
of the podcast.
Just so sweet, yes.
I would love to meet your dad. That'd be so fun. Yeah, no, if you guys come up, though, let me know. And I will, it's 30 minutes, that's nothing. Fuck anybody who says 30 minutes is a long drive. Fuck you. No, it's not.
Yes.
You've already wasted 30 minutes of your life listening to this goddamn podcast.
Yeah, what have you been doing?
You could have made it somewhere within 30 minutes. It's not that bad.
My commute to my work is like almost an hour, so get out of here.
Shmute, you fuckers with a commute to work. I drive all goddamn day long. I have to drive from one stop to another stop to another stop. This is true. You are an exception because
I go to home to home to home to home.
And I have to go from store to store to store to store.
I do think of you sometimes when I'm in. I feel like I'm like someone I picked up.
You've joined my world.
I have. Someone I picked up and gave a ride to an appointment a couple weeks ago. They were like, "Kind of looks like you live in your car," and I was like, "It's because I do."
It's literally my office on wheels. My car, I literally call it my office on wheels. And it gets so messy so quickly because I have so much shit from work in there that I just like throw in the back seat, or I try to keep all of my shit like tucked into the back pockets of my driver's seat and my passenger seat. I try to keep it kind of organized in there, but there are times where I get in and I just throw it in the back seat and it just ends up becoming this mess. And there's times where instead of going and finding like the dumpster, I'll just take the cardboard and plastic with me and throw it in the back of my car, and then I'll just dump it off either at the office or at home, and it gets so messy so quickly in there. I carry so much signage and so much little POS things so that I can give them to an account if they want them. There's no guarantee it's going in. It's just in my car. It's just in my car in case someone wants it.
I have like so many diapers in my car. I have activities. I have toys. I have winter jackets because we were giving away winter jackets for a period of time, and then I just had them in my car in case
I have winter hats.
And it's just like, oh my god!
Like little beanies, and I have ones that have like little the little fuzzy ball on the top. We have ones like that. I have those. I have sunglasses. I have little cooler bags.
I have lactation cookies because those were donated. Just so you walk by my car and you just see lactation cookies.
I'm so glad you understand my life now. Of just so much random shit in my car. My family will make fun of me sometimes of like when I go and travel because like the back of my car, usually my hatch, is just filled with shit for work. Like I try to keep it out of my backseat as much as possible.
That's why the back is full.
It inevitably gets into my backseat.
Yes.
And my hatch, and then my hatch and my backseat are just full of shit.
Like, I'm trying here, and what forces me to like clean it up is that I have to give participants rides sometimes, and I'm like, thank God.
oh, I might have someone in my car. I should probably clean my car.
I should probably clean this. What? I feel like I heard a cat.
Also, if my friends and I hang out, because we do girls' weekend. We just did one. I haven't posted the pictures, but we did like a paint night. It's usually, we've been using my car to go places and do stuff before we like start drinking or whatever. We have to go grab something from the store, and my car is usually the cleanest one because whenever we're about to hang out, I clean it out just in case because I have a bigger car.
Yeah.
Sydney's car is close to my size too. But mine tends to be the cleanest, but this time around mine was like the messy. Mine was so fucking messy. I'm like, guys, my car is actually messy.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I have like a little vacuum that I got for Christmas. Because I asked for it.
I had one, but I think I lost it or it broke between cars. Something happened to it. I have no clue what happened to it. But I kind of want to get another one again. It was very useful.
I agree.
I keep a little garbage can.
I want one.
In my car. Amazon.
I know, but it just takes
That's where I got mine
money.
from. It's like, but what's nice about it is it's an easy to collapse one. It's got like a little handle, so I put it over my little Prindle shifter thingy.
Yeah.
And if you understand that reference,
of course,
you're getting old. So I'll like hang it off of that, and then if someone's like getting in my car, I just like move it to the back seat. But I try to empty it out whenever I go and get gas. Whenever I get gas is when I try to empty it out. So
that makes sense because I just shove all my trash in my like little compartments down by my door.
Don't worry.
I just put that.
My previous car, I still had the trash can, but like I wouldn't clean it out very often, and it would just overflow, and I'd be pushing it under the fucking passenger seat. Like, there's no trash. I cover it with like a sweater so nobody can see the trash.
You say nothing. There's
no trash here. It's just a pile of sweaters. Calm down.
It is.
It's just a pile of sweaters, and it also is usually a pile of sweaters plus trash.
But I have like donation clothes in my car right now.
Now it's usually just a pile of sweaters, and then my trash doesn't usually get too bad. I'm pretty good about cleaning that one out whenever I get gas. But like I usually have a pile of sweaters because I'll go out with one on, and then I'll get too hot, and I'll take it off, but I'll forget it in the car, and then the next day I'll have another sweater, and then I'll get in, and then I'll get too hot, and I'll take it off, and then that one gets left in the car. Eventually I run out of sweaters, and then I have to like bring them all in and start over again. Oh my
Forces
goodness.
you to.
Exactly. Forces me to start all over again. That's usually when I'll clean my car. It's like, you know what? Too many of my clothes in here. I need to clean out.
Jesus. I love this.
So, Laura.
So now that we've made a few plans.
Now that we're like an hour in. Do you have a topic for us? Do you want to do a topic?
I do, actually, and it's funny because I feel like a bit of a longer topic, so...
You know what? They're going to get a long episode today, a long main episode today. Editor Kaylie is going to be so mad at herself for saying this when she finally gets to this episode, but there's a few episodes before I get to this one, so I'll forget how long it's going to be.
3 hours.
It's going to be like a 2-3 hour episode, and it's going to take me like 5 hours to fucking edit it. I already am fully aware of this, but fuck it. You can have a longer main episode today. So I have a probably shorter one, but it all depends on where the conversation goes. Okay. So I don't remember who went first last time. I'm really bad at keeping. We're really bad.
Talk about last time.
Hold on. I got notes. Hold on.
I've got notes. I do too, but I'd have to do some flipping.
No, it's okay. Mine's a little bit easier to.
I know. I gotta figure this shit out.
Oh, maybe this is episode 21.
Damn.
This is episode 21. Episode 20 is already in here. So we talked about sand theft.
Oh, yep.
And I don't know what you talked about because I don't have links for you. But I talked about the sand mafia.
So I guess we are going to be doing some flippy flippy. I say you go. I'm interested.
All right.
So I know I already said it, but I can't stop staring at your eyelashes. They're just fabulous. I can't. I'm jealous.
Thank you. Kaylie went back to get her lashes done again, finally.
Yes, she's batting her eyes.
I took a break, and now we're back to having these baddie lashes. I fucking love them. My lash tech is wonderful. She's opening a second location, and it's actually going to be closer to me, and I'm so excited for her that she's getting a second location already, because, I mean, her first location, I don't think it's even been a full year since it's been open.
Dang,
so I'm like, good for fucking you, girl. I'm like, fucking killing it. Okay, so I found this wonderful little thread on Reddit.
Has there been a kitty announcement?
Hello! It's a little boy. That's a little boy. He just came running in here. I found this little thread. They called it, "This is a little series I'm calling Real Things Men Have Actually Said to Me During or Shortly After Sex."
Got it.
So we're gonna go through here, and we're gonna read these interesting things that men have said during or shortly after sex.
Which I'm excited for.
I am gonna start with this first one that is just made me laugh.
Already.
"My favorite was when a guy stopped mid-sex, started acting weird, and left quickly. Drove all the way to his house, and then texted me to ask me if I had an STD because he saw a bump. I had an ingrown hair on my bikini line, like 3 to 4 inches below my belly button, nowhere even close to my labia. Like, why not ask me in person? He literally put several miles of distance between us instead, and then texted about it immediately. It was so ridiculous, all I could do was laugh. Also, I say this guy, but let there be no confusion. This was a grown man in his 30s. And just one of the comments underneath is, "I'm sorry, but that is so damn funny. Even if it was suspicious, he tried to physically outrun what he thought could be an STD." That, like, you can't do that, buddy. Sorry.
No, and he also has no balls. Just ask.
Just ask.
Oh my
also,
god.
Why would you not make sure they're clean before having sex with them? That's something you should be discussing before randomly hooking up with someone. We got another one here. See, I like doing this with you, but also with other people. And the person that posted that said, like, I knew we weren't exclusive and was on the DL with it, but was the post-sex cuddle really the time to say that? Like, that fucking stings.
That does.
See, I really like doing this with you, but I like doing it with other people too.
Like, good for fucking
But
you.
I also like doing it with other people. Like, that's great. Like, I understand we're not
about
exclusive.
that right now?
Exactly. Like, I already know we're not exclusive, but like, do you really need to like bring that up right now? Is this really the time? I'm usually into women with a ballerina type body, but there's other men who are into your body type.
And stereotypically, a ballerina type body is quite thin. Oh gosh.
That'll do, pig, with an ass slap. Oh my god! Could you imagine? The fury.
I need to know the context, though, of, like, how long have they known each other? Are they married?
They don't
like,
say.
what
They just say, that'll do, pig, with an ass slap. Will forever and always be my favorite for some reason. And then they replied to someone who said, what the fuck? And they said, I think he was going for the movie Babe. Unfortunately, he missed the mark. I'd fucking say so.
Definitely missed the mark there. Jesus.
My dream is to fuck a porn star. In the middle of sex. In the middle of sex, as you're having sex with someone, you just say, my dream is to fuck a porn star.
So, like, that makes me feel like, again, they're thinking about fucking a porn star instead of
Probably.
thinking about this moment you're currently in.
Sorry, I'm not emotionally invested enough to hear about your problems.
That's gotta be after sex, right?
I don't know, they don't specify. Oh, I've got one. You can spend the night, but we're not having sex in the morning.
Was it bad?
I don't know.
Was it bad? Also, male or female? Oh, this is all men. My bad.
Yeah, it's supposed to be what men said to them. I guess I'm just more existential than you are. After I said I could never live in a tiny rural town with no internet. I'm just not. I guess I'm just more existential than you are. Because you live in a tiny town with no internet?
Also, is existential the correct word?
I don't think so.
That doesn't sound right. Yikes. Clearly you need that internet so you can learn a little bit. We got too much internet, so we learned it too much.
I know, right?
That's beside the point.
Oh, the classic wanna have a threesome. He asked that immediately after sex for months.
For months? I would literally stop having sex with this person.
Someone responded, the answer to this is always, sure, who's the other boy you have in mind? Fucking facts. Who's the other guy you have in mind? You want a threesome so badly with a woman, who's to say I don't want a threesome with another man?
Man,
like, why does yours count but mine doesn't? Fuck you.
Mm-hmm. I like this.
Fuck you.
I'm gonna use that.
How's it feel to fuck such a successful businessman? And I think her response was, oh, someone said, OMG, please tell me you said, I'll let you know when I find out.
Wow, I could never think of this like that in the moment, I don't think. But oh my god, I would want to barf on that person.
Oh my god. Okay, this person's contribution, I'm face down, ass up, being done from behind, and he stops mid-thrust and says to me, oh, you have hair down there. As if I had spinach in my teeth. Like there was something that I had missed. Like I had something that I needed to fix. What the fuck?
And also something that you could do right then and there. You don't bring it up if that's your preference.
If you have a problem with me having hair as a grown adult woman, that's a problem with you. Not me.
And also, they're most likely way hairier. Like,
exactly. Y'all don't fucking shave half the time.
Nasty.
Oh my god. Lights up cigarette. You ever heard the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise?
That makes me want to punch someone.
What the fuck?
I don't even know what that means, but cigarette burns are about to happen.
Wow, that made me hungry. Got any ice cream? Sir, 6 minutes of mediocre penising did not earn you any ice cream. Oh my
Penising.
god.
Penising.
Mediocre penising did not earn you ice cream.
Okay, so
No.
get out of here.
You want ice cream, you better give me a damn good fuck. I better not be able to walk properly right after.
And then you're bringing me the ice cream, by the way.
Exactly. I think that's it.
I think it's wild that people have the audacity to say whatever they please with
Dude.
no other thought process before it comes out their mouth.
Yep. Yeah, I'm sorry, I can't get over the that'll do pig. I can't get over the that'll do with the fucking slap on the ass. I can't get over that one, I really can't.
Are we sure? I feel like I don't think that's...
What?
It is in Babe, but I don't remember watching Babe that much growing
Honestly,
up.
I think I maybe watched Babe once in my life. I don't.
Me too,
remember.
but I know that phrase, so that's what's weird.
Mhm. I know the phrase too, but yeah, I don't remember it. There we go. That's some things men have said after sex. Like I said, mine was quick. Mine was short.
I like
Laura,
it.
what
I
you got
like
for
it.
us?
I have two things. One is one everybody knows, which is Atlantis. Because everybody knows Atlantis, but I personally know of it, but I don't know much about it. Does that make sense?
Yeah. No, totally fair.
Because obviously it's a underwater.
I would say, I feel like I know,
city.
a little bit about it.
That's
but
what I
not
got.
necessarily, a whole lot.
So this article isn't huge, which I can appreciate.
Huge.
But I have another article about a place that is similar, and made me want to do this one too. So.
Sweet. Let's do it.
So, it says here that Atlantis is likely a mythical island nation mentioned in Plato's dialogues, and has been an object of fascination among Western philosophers and historians for nearly 2,400 years. Plato, which apparently he was around 424 through 328 BC, describes it as a powerful and advanced kingdom that sank in a night and a day into the ocean around 9,600 BC. The ancient Greeks were divided as to whether Plato's story was to be taken as history or a mere metaphor. Since the 19th century, there has been renewed interest in linking Plato's Atlantis to historical locations, most commonly the Greek island of Santorini. I'm gonna fuck that one up, but
Okay.
which was destroyed by a volcanic eruption around 1600 BC. So, Plato's Atlantis. Plato describes Atlantis as an island larger than Libya and Asia Minor put together. Asia Minor? Are we gonna use
Hold
that?
on.
Also, are you eating pizza? Because I'm
Yes. Yes, I am.
I want pizza. Looks like good pizza. It's gotta be an older term. Can't be a current term.
It is. So Asia Minor is a geographic region located in the southwestern part of Asia, comprising most of present-day Turkey.
Okay.
Yeah, but
So
it
basically
is a more
Libya
ancient
and
term, but
Turkey.
basically, yeah.
Okay. Located in the Atlantic, just beyond the Pillars of Hercules, generally assumed to mean the Strait of Gibraltar. Its culture was advanced and has had a constitution suspiciously similar to the one outlined in Plato's Republic. Blah blah blah. Honestly, I don't care about any of this. Plato's Critias, I'm gonna fuck all of this up, says he heard the story of Atlantis from his grandfather, who had heard it from the Athenian statesman.
Athenian.
Athenian, I think, is a lot more fun to say. Try it sometime.
Oh, yeah. Athenian. Athenian.
I swear, I can read. Just Not out loud.
Hey, there are days where I randomly remind myself that I'll never be as smart as my uncle who knows, like, all of the Latin language, which is a dead fucking language.
For real.
He, like, teaches it, too. And I'm like, I'll never be as smart as that, man. You know what? I give up. Athenian it is.
Athenian. Good to go. It's whatever we want at this point.
She lost her place.
I did lose my place, my bad. Athenian. But this man who had learned it from the Egyptian priest who said it had happened 9,000 years before that, whether or not Plato believed his own story, his intent
I heard it from a guy who heard it from a guy who heard it from a guy
9,000 years ago.
Yay.
Seems like a lot of religions are built on that, but moving on.
We're not talking about that.
Whether or not Plato believed his own story, his intent in telling it seems to have been to boost his ideas of an ideal society using stories of ancient victory and calamity to call to mind more recent events such as the Trojan War or Athens' disastrous invasion of Sicily.
Sicily?
Yeah, thanks. Sicily.
Sicily. I think it's so funny. I have to do the same thing for you that I do for my husband. He'll be like, Sicily? Like, I have to help him with words all the time.
Thank
He's
you.
like, oh god, just say this word.
I know Sicily's a place, but I don't know how to spell it, and so therefore reading it is impossible. So the sounded out method actually doesn't work in English, so just so we know.
It is not always how it's spelled. You do not always pronounce things how it's spelled.
No. They putting random letters in there just for funsies.
Facts. She lost her spot again.
No, actually, I just really hate this article.
She's just not... Okay, I was like, or she doesn't like this article. Which I have had that before. I'm like, oh, I don't like any of this.
Okay, hold on. In the first centuries of the Christian era, Aristotle was taken at his word, and Atlantis was little discussed. In 1627, the English philosopher and scientist Francis Bacon published a utopian novel titled The New Atlantis, depicting, like Plato before him, a politically and scientifically advanced society on a previous unknown oceanic island. In 1882, former U.S. Congressman published Atlantis, the whatever that word is, something about a world, which touched off of a frenzy of works attempting to locate and learn from historical Atlantis. This man hypothesized an advanced civilization whose immigrants had populated much of ancient Europe, Africa, and the Americas, and whose heroes had inspired Greek, Hindu, and Scandinavian mythology.
Ooh.
Donnelly's theories were popularized and elaborated by the turn of the 20th centuries and are often incorporated into contemporary New Age beliefs. From time to time, archaeologists and historians locate evidence: a swampy prehistoric city in coastal Spain, a suspicious undersea rock formation in the Bahamas that might be a source of the Atlantis story. Of these, the site with the widest acceptance is the Greek island, a half-submerged caldera created by the massive 2nd millennium BC volcanic eruption, whose tsunami may have made it collapse and basically kill everybody.
Okay.
Because I never knew what, so basically it is like a guy heard from a guy about this city.
It's basically a guy heard from a guy who heard from a guy who heard from a guy.
And this is on history.com. So it's like, they know nothing about it.
It's one of those things where, Atlantis could fit into the cryptid category. Because we don't have proof that it necessarily exists, but there is so much written about its existence or the possibility of its existence, just like so many cryptid creatures and things like that. So Atlantis can honestly almost be classified as a cryptid because it's something that hasn't been proven to exist like at all.
Yeah. But also, we also don't know much about our oceans.
Exactly.
You know,
and that's where it comes in of like, for right now, it can kind of just only be really viewed as like a cryptid creature because we don't know. We know more about outer space than we know about the oceans because we don't have the technology to be able to survive the pressure that's down there. And that's the problem, is it comes down to the pressure in the waters, that the further down you go, the more pressure there is.
Oh, and we've seen when people fuck that up.
And eventually, we have to have those fuck ups to learn what can't make it that far down, and what to then try and figure out, well, what kind of materials can survive that. And I don't think we've found a material that can actually survive going so far down into the ocean, and that's why we don't know
Which
so
is
much.
Kind of crazy.
So what if where the Atlantis city was just so happens to be in such a deep part of the ocean that where it sank is so far down we can't get to it yet? And that could be why we don't know anything about its existence yet, because we just can't explore the ocean as much as we can explore space right now. So until we have that technology, it's basically going to be considered like a cryptid kind of place, because we don't have proof that it actually existed. We just have stories of its existence.
For
that
years.
A guy heard from a guy heard from a guy.
That 9,000 years ago.
The legitimacy of its actual existence until we can actually be able to explore the ocean more, to be able to learn if it even actually exists. And we may never even be able to do that.
Which is insane.
Yeah, we may never actually be able to figure out what materials we need to be able to fucking get down there. We may not ever be able to get far down.
Stupid.
Well, not necessarily. We just haven't developed the necessary technology and materials to be able to do it yet.
Yeah, but if it never comes into it, then that's a pretty rough
But that's the thing, is we don't know. We don't know if we're ever going to be able to create that thing. Just like we didn't know if we'd ever be able to create electricity, you know, but we eventually did. I'm sure that was a concept that people were like, yeah, right. Okay, sure.
But that's what I'm saying.
It won't happen, but
proof that, you know, things will evolve.
So it is still very interesting. It is still very interesting because it's like, what if it really was a legitimate place that actually existed? Because I'm pretty sure there's also talk of they had more advanced technology than a lot of other places as well.
Absolutely.
Which is so interesting to me that this happened to them with such advanced technology and stuff like that, and they just disappear. They just disappear off the face of the fucking earth, and nobody can prove the existence of them.
Even though they were super advanced.
And apparently actually existed. It's very interesting.
It is very interesting. But I feel like there's a lot of different stories about
I want to talk
advanced technology.
Well, yeah, and also
in other
like
places.
cities and also just places just completely disappearing off of the map because of some natural disaster that, you know, we only have limited information. Like Pompeii comes to mind because that's a place that completely wiped off the map because of one natural disaster. And who knows, they could have had an earthquake, they could have had a volcanic eruption, they could have had anything that could have caused them to sink. It could have been anything. Maybe something to do with their technology even could have caused it.
Absolutely. And it reminds me of like the beach in Algonquin that I walked on. My aunt was saying that the houses that are the first houses in the row on the beach or whatever are basically, they are being told that if the climate continues as it is, that those houses aren't going to be able to stay there because they already got destroyed by some crazy weather, and it has only been getting worse and worse and more frequent, and so these houses are susceptible to just getting washed out. In
Maine, especially on coastal areas, there's now like laws and limitations on how far away your buildings have to be from the coast. So my in-laws, they have a little beach house. It's like a little, it's like a little screen house down on the beach. And it is grandfathered in. That's the only reason why they're able to have it, is because it was already on the property when they bought it, when this like law or whatever changed and went into place. But literally it goes practically underwater at the end of winter every year. Like when we just went up recently to their place, we had to have boots that basically go up to our knees, and even that wasn't enough for certain parts of it because the water comes so far in. Like they have this big rock in that's like this little turnaround spot that leads up to where their docks are, and like splits off to where like their screen house is. That goes fully underwater. And this rock is huge. Like, the pictures I took for my wedding of me and my groomsmen and bridesmaids, like, sitting on that rock, that's the rock. That rock goes completely underwater.
That's crazy.
Every year. Because the water comes in and rises so much. And so they have certain laws and ordinances in place so that when you're building on the coast of any water, they live on a lake, but still, any water, you have to be so far away from the water's edge before you can start building anything.
And I think those laws are going to continue to change.
Well, yeah, it's all going to depend on how the environment changes, how things go, because I'm sorry, but the planet is dying and things are going very differently. Patterns are changing with our weather. I mean, Laura and I talk about it all the time on here. We live in New England, where we grew up having winters where the snow was up to my waist every year. I could literally tunnel through the snow, and we would build tunnels in the snow and shit. Like, and it is not like that anymore.
No.
We do not have winters like we used to, even like 5 years ago, even 4 years ago. Like, it has changed so much. We do not get winters like we used to. We barely got any snow this year. We just talked about it on the past few episodes. We had blizzards in like literally like a month ago.
Yeah.
We don't get blizzards this time of year.
I mean, I think it's hit or miss because New England's weird no matter what, but...
Right, but our weather has changed drastically. So drastically, comparatively to, like, previous winters.
And even summers, they're so rainy. At least in Massachusetts.
Oh, no, it's been rain. Last summer sucked because it was so fucking rainy.
And I'm not going to turn into the new Washington because I will freak out. I will freak out.
I don't want rain 24/7. No, thank you. Anyways, digressing off of depressing topics of our planet dying.
Yes, but the thing is, our planet is currently dying, but it's just going to react in a way where it will thrive and we will die.
Exactly. And
so
honestly,
we're really just fucking ourselves over, and
I don't blame it. I can't blame the planet one fucking bit. It's trying to defend itself against
I don't
our
blame
fucking shit.
her because
I don't blame I don't blame Mother Nature one motherfucking bit. Take us out if you have to, girl. Don't let us destroy you for our own sake. That is a toxic relationship.
For real, you know better.
We are parasites.
Yeah, we're an infection. Take some fucking antibiotics, bro.
Oh my goodness.
Anyways, Mark and I have been listening to audiobooks, and one of them we were listening to referenced Atlantis. We were like, oh, of course they know Atlantis, but then they were talking about another one that I just looked up now because it didn't like talk about it. It was just like Atlantis and then it's Lemuria.
Okay.
Have you heard of it?
No.
And it's kind of has the same vibes. It's a lost continent, and people wonder if it did ever exist.
Okay.
Lemuria?
Lemuria?
Yeah.
How's it spelled?
Lemuria.
Lemuria? I feel like Lemuria would...
Yeah, because it's also, spoiler, a little bit based off of lemurs, so... Isn't that hilarious? It's gonna but for decades, scientists speculated about the mythical submerged land of Lemuria in the Indian Ocean, And if reports are to go by, in 2013, evidence emerged supporting the possibility of its actual existence. In the mid-1800s, a few scientists, armed with scant evidence, reported about the existence of a lost continent in the Indian Ocean and named it Lemuria. Some even reported about a bygone humanoid race, the Lemurians, with 4 arms and large hermaphroditic bodies, referring them as ancestors to both modern humans and lemurs.
Oh my.
Despite its far-fetched nature, the concept gained popularity in both popular culture and certain scientific circulars. However, contemporary science debunked the idea of Lemuria. Unexpectedly, in 2013, geologists discovered evidence of a lost continent precisely where Lemuria was believed to have existed, which reignited the interest in the old theories. The origin of Lemuria theories traces back to 1864 when British lawyer and zoologist Philip, because we're not going to say his whole name, proposed the idea in a paper titled The Mammals of Madagascar. Philip's observations of lemurs in Madagascar led him to suggest the existence of a now lost landmass, Lemuria, connecting southern India, southern Africa, and western Australia. This theory gained traction at a time when evolution science was in its infancy and continental drift concepts were not widely accepted. The Lemuria theories grew more intricate and peculiar in the late 1800s, with German biologist Ernst suggesting that Lemuria played a crucial role in the migration of humans out of Asia. These ideas persisted until the early 1900s, fueled by works like The Secret Doctrine by Russian oculist Elena. A Russian last name. A very Russian last name. You could just say Bakova at this point because that's how the first start of it is, and then it has 19 other letters after that, and I can't. I wish I could.
I'm sorry, we do not have the capacity for that. I'm so sorry.
And I am Russian, but I cannot.
Hey, it's in my blood, but I cannot do
I
it.
cannot. It's like you and the French, alright?
Hey, that French is all up in there, but I do not know a lick of it.
So sorry. Despite the fanciful nature of Lemuria, in 2013, geologists found fragments of granite and zircon in the Indian Ocean, south of India, supporting the existence of a lost continent. This proposed continent they named Mauritia, disappeared around 84 million years ago, aligning with some aspects of, what was his name? Because they keep calling him by his last name that I freaking hate. Philip! There you are. Philip.
Philly.
Oh, Phil. But it disappeared around 84 million years ago, aligning with some of Philip's original Lemuria concepts. However, the discovery refuted the notion of lemurs evolving into modern lemurs, as lemurs only appeared in Madagascar around 54 million years ago. In essence, while the idea of Lemuria as a sunken continent may not align entirely with the past theories, the discovery of Mauritia confirms that something was present in the Indian Ocean, now lost to the ages.
So it makes sense to me, some of these lost continents, because we do know that our continents at one point were connected more than they are, because we have the whole concept of Pangea, or at least something similar to that. I don't know if Pangea is necessarily the legitimate one necessarily anymore, but I know that there's the theory that we were a lot more connected at one point,
with
like
the
millions of years
drift.
ago. Exactly.
And that's why we have like earthquakes and the tectonic plates and all that.
And it makes sense that some of these continents, after being separated from big land masses, would possibly disappear into the water at some point, because water has risen over time in a lot of areas and consumed land masses. So it wouldn't be surprising if this small island that broke off of a big chunk of land
wasn't very small.
Either way, like, it breaking off of a big chunk may have caused it over time to just either disappear or not be able to support it. Something.
I was about to say, because even if it's like getting most of its support from the other lands and then it's ripped off and it just cannot sustain itself in like a heaviness, maybe even, I don't know how land fucking works.
Because I mean, I don't necessarily know how it works, but I mean, assuming it's a part of a landmass that wasn't as connected underneath as another part would be,
and the ocean is
it comes down to
massive.
that, or it comes down to Mother Nature coming in and causing natural disasters that caused it to eventually be either consumed by the ocean or just sink because it didn't have whatever support it needed anymore because of earthquakes or whatever. I mean, there's constantly little tremors and earthquakes that we aren't aware of happening all over the planet.
Absolutely.
There are a lot that we're aware of, and then there's a lot that happen that we don't even know happen throughout our daily existence. So it makes sense that there are possibly a lot of continents and pieces of land that may have existed, but they're just so old that we can't prove their existence anymore. Like,
and
there's so little existing to remind us or tell us that they actually were there.
Absolutely. And I feel like it's also one of those things where if it did more of like collapse and sink, the ocean is so deep, and like you said, you can't go to the bottom of the ocean, so we can't see that stuff really anyways. So who knows how far it went down.
Exactly. Like, yeah, sure, we can see certain parts of the bottom of the ocean, but not all of them. We can't go to all parts of the bottom of the ocean. We can't see all of the ocean floors because we just can't get that deep. So what if some of these places sunk down to areas where we just can't get to, so we can't prove them?
But they apparently
never proved them.
They proved that there was at least something out there,
right?
Regardless of how big it was, we just don't know.
Right, we just can't go further than the possibility of it because we just can't find the evidence to fully prove and be like, yes, this place 100% existed at one point in time. We just may never know. I mean, there's constantly places disappearing because of natural disasters and water rising and stuff like that we don't really realize are happening.
And because I think it can be a fast, like, where it can happen quickly, but I also think it can be a very slow process.
Right.
Even it's like New York City is just slowly, like Manhattan's just going to slowly go underwater.
It's slow enough that you may not realize it's happening as quickly as it is.
Yeah.
And then before you know it, it's too late, and you either need to get up and get out, or you're going with it. And it's only going to take one natural disaster maybe to cause it to happen. And you may not even realize, because we never know what can be thrown at us by Mother Nature, sadly. She gets a little wily sometimes, and I can't blame her. But yeah. No, it's very interesting, though. All these places that may have existed that we'll never know about if they were actually real or not, because we just can't prove it, because more than likely they sunk to the deepest, darkest parts of the ocean that we cannot get to.
Which is wild to think about, because we both, we don't necessarily live on the coast, but we live.
I do. I literally live on the coast.
Oh, you like?
I'm basically a coastal town.
Okay. So I live like an hour or an hour and a half from the beach. That's awesome.
Yeah. We are coastal. We are straight up coastal.
So you're more fucked than I, but either way, we're still.
We're not planning on being in this area forever, but yeah, we are definitely a coastal town.
He's trying to move y'all, okay? Again,
we are definitely a coastal town. Honestly, we could just move to another state. You never know. We've considered buying a duplex in Vermont. Massachusetts is so fucking expensive. I am not moving to Massachusetts. Absolutely not. I already live in such an expensive state. You think I want to go to an even more expensive state? Laura, we live in the top 10 expensive states. I am a little bit further down on the list than you, but I'm still on that list.
Is further down than Massachusetts, and that's insane because that is a tropical island.
Exactly. Fucking Maine just became a part of the top 20 states where you have to be making 6 figures to buy a house. So yeah, no, I don't want to live in this state fucking forever. No, Nick and I have talked about, I've even mentioned to Nick, like, buying a duplex with, my best friend Amber and her husband, because we would both own, we would all own the house. It'd be 4 people on a mortgage, which would be fucking spectacular. And then if one of us wanted to move out, we can just rent the other side, or they can buy that couple out and own the whole place and then rent out the other side, or whatever they want to do. Like, literally, we could easily do something like that, but we'd be able to have our own space, and I wouldn't hate the person living next door to me. Even if we don't see each other 24/7, like, if you're pissing me off, I'll open the goddamn door and be like, will you shut the fuck up in here? Or I'll pound on your wall, or I'll text you because you're my best friend, and I'll be like, can you shut the fuck up over there? Thank you.
Stop.
What are you doing over there? Why are you being so goddamn loud? Like, that, like, I'd be totally fine with that.
Lives in something similar with, like, my uncle, and that's
one of my
that way
aunts
for
had,
like 20 years.
Yeah, one of my aunts had a duplex home. I don't think she shared the other half with anyone she knew, but I wouldn't be against doing something like that, just so we could have our own space.
Right, but you don't have to have an apartment where you're connected to like 9 other families.
Our own space that we can do whatever we want to it. And even though we have someone next door to us, it's someone that we want to be around. It's someone that we want to spend time with and be close to and stuff. And that when we don't want to, they're not going to be offended, because they already know us pretty well enough to know that, like, yeah, whatever. All right, I'll see you when you're ready to see me again. I live right next to you. I'll see you when you're ready to see me again.
I'll see you. Don't you worry.
Whatever. Like, yeah. So I would love to own a house.
That's a great idea.
But, like, yeah, I think something like if the market doesn't change anytime soon, or even when it does, might still just do that. We'll see what happens. But
absolutely. I really do. I know we talk about it all the time, but I really just want like a giant community.
Seriously, that's all I want to do. Is I want to just get all my couple friends.
But it's bad, because then we have couple friends, and then it's just going to turn into just giant, massive city.
So what's wrong with that? Our own little.
It's a lot of land. It's a lot of land.
I know, we would need. We all buy a chunk of land right next to each other. We all each buy a chunk.
Where are we gonna buy that big of land?
I know, we'd have to go somewhere like middle of the U.S. or something like that, or like.
I can't move too far.
Or honestly, actually no. If we go further up in Maine, there's a lot of land.
Too much winter. Too much winter, bro.
I'm
looking for a homesteading kind of a
There's gotta be somewheres in, like, maybe Vermont or something like that, where we could buy a nice plot of land, like, in the woods kind of thing. Something, not too far out, but, you know, like a nice plot of land.
Pretty long driveway I'm down with.
Exactly. You know, somewhere's far enough away that people aren't going to be coming and finding our little commune.
Yeah. And then everybody has their own long driveway, because I also don't want neighbors still.
We need it so that we can all be spaced far enough away from each other where we have privacy, or we need to plant or keep trees in a certain way that we have privacy between the houses, but close enough together that we can have a communal space that we share, like gardening and like maybe an eating space. Maybe we have like a big kitchen area that's shared for everyone to come together, you know, like things like that. But when you want to go home, you can have your space away from each other. But I very much want to do that. My friends want to do that, because I've got Hope and Sydney with their husbands, and then I've got you and Mark and Amber and Bradley. That's it. That's my friends. That's my groups of couples. And then we all get together. We buy a thing of land. We build some houses. They don't even gotta be big houses. I don't need a huge house.
Nah, I mean, I have a kind of a petite space now, so.
Yeah. Anyways, we've divulged from talking about how land is sinking into the ocean and disappearing to creating and working on our commune again and creating in culty stuff. Listen, we told you there's no organization to this podcast. It goes wherever the conversation goes.
But yeah. Yes, it would be cool to be a
Little
person.
commune.
Like,
Little commune like
I was
that.
gonna go back to just like being an explorer. Could you imagine trying to find a lost city? So fucking
That'd be
cool.
fucking fantastic. That'd be so cool.
Although the ocean also scares me, and that's where.
Oh my god, yeah, no, the ocean terrifies me.
The ocean is space. I think I'm all set.
Honestly, I'm all set.
I don't want to. I don't want to be too deep in all that nonsense. I'll listen about it, but I'm not going to be part of it.
No, I'll watch. I'll listen.
Yeah.
I don't want to be a part of it. No, thank you. Well, Laura, do you have anything else for us?
Actually, now that you asked, something did come to mind. Hold on, I forgot I had like a news article.
Oh shit!
God, which one was it? I'm gonna have to click through some. I don't remember what it was about, but I remember being like, ah, yes. I wanted to talk to you about that. Oh, okay. I got this news article, and it was just cracking me up. It says, a dad baffled the internet after he seemingly divorced his wife because she had breastfed their newborn son. His now viral text exchange with his wife...
I think I know what this is.
...sees him accuse her of incest over the disrespectful...
Yeah, because she breastfed her baby, and she was like, how dare you let another man put his mouth on your nipple? And I'm like, man, that's an infant child. What are you talking about?
So the conversation, the text conversation goes like this. You've been breastfeeding? You know how I fucking feel about that. And then all she says is, what time are you coming back? I don't know if I am. Why? Are you mad at me? Yes. What did I do? It's just breastfeeding. That. The feelings it gives me and how I finally understand that you truly don't respect me.
That part fucking sent me. That part sent me. I was like, are you fucking kidding me?
Insane. But
continue.
She says, I do respect you. I just thought we could compromise about the breastfeeding. Talk about it. If you don't like seeing it, maybe I can just do it in a different room. Well, we didn't talk about it. You just did it. And it's not about seeing it. I know it's happening. I'm done. Done? Let me know when you're being discharged and I'll be there. Like, you're divorcing me? You go behind my back and do something I've stressed about not doing. There's no different... That's no different than lying and shows how little you respect me.
Oh my god.
I wasn't meaning to disrespect you. I just wanted to give fucking breast milk since he was born early, and I know it's the best thing for him with the antibodies and other stuff he'll get from it. Then
he goes on about how formula is good enough nowadays, that's perfectly fine.
Yes, he goes, he's not a preemie. He was born at full term. It's still unneeded. He's still bigger than I was when I was born, and you could have always asked the nurse for a pump. It's a proven scientific fact that breast milk is no better than modern formula, which is untrue.
That is such a bold-faced lie.
Don't get me wrong.
It is so... Like,
fed is fed, but...
Fed is fed, and that is all that matters. If you cannot produce breast milk, it is totally not your fault. Like, it happens, and a fed baby is all that matters.
Yes.
But if you can breastfeed and you want to breastfeed, you should, because your body has the ability to adjust to what your baby needs when it needs it through the milk.
Including when they're sick, which is crazy.
Exactly.
Although breastfeeding takes a lot.
It is. And I totally get that. But if it's something you want to do and you can do it, I highly encourage it because it is better for baby than formula. But formula is okay. Because fed is fed, and that is all that matters.
Really matters, but
that
this
is
guy
all that
just
matters.
saying that it's a proven scientific fact is untrue.
It's all I'm when I read that, I was like, you fucking bold-faced, goddamn ignorant swine.
And he's not even the one that like just went through pregnancy and birth and probably did all this research on all of it. But she's just so like
she's so
calm about it because she just says,
oh my god.
I cannot imagine.
This woman, I give her all the praise on how she handled this because that is clear. This man is clearly like this all the fucking time. And my God, honestly, it's probably better
Divorced
for
for
her
me.
that they're divorced, honestly.
But she's so nice. She says, I know, but the benefits of breast milk still outweighs the formula. Latching helps drop the milk better than the pumps. Yeah, the benefit to where I'll never be able to look at you the same way again. What do you mean? You think I'm a bad mom for breastfeeding? I think you're a bad wife. I think you don't respect me. I think you took a joy away from me. I think a lot of things. I think a lot of things really got me because I'm like, good for fucking you.
There are literally men out there who will suck a blockage out of their wives' nipples for them.
Yes.
You are such a ridiculous child. Like, oh my God. Get over yourself.
No, he thinks a lot of
things. He's so fucking selfish. Oh my God, this man just, Continue.
I'm using the I think a lot of things at this point.
I think a lot of things.
To mock people. She goes on to ask, I took a joy from you? I don't understand what you mean. Formula can still be used. He says, I enjoy your boobs. Now they've been in another man's mouth. I now no longer enjoy your boobs. I don't know what she says because it's a little blurred, but she basically said that's not another man.
No, it's not. She does. She says, like, it's not another man. It's, like, your child. Like,
yeah. Or maybe it's, like, his name or something. But, he goes on to go, he's a male and your son. That makes it incestuous in my eyes. And she says it's not like that at all. I'm not saying anything I haven't told you before. And that's just where it ends. But, dear Lord.
The fact that they procreated together, like, if he had said that to me before having a child with him, I would have been like, okay, so you're not the man to have a child with, because you can't handle the idea that I might breastfeed him, and you think it's incest? Like,
that's how babies
where did you go to school? Because you clearly did not get proper education in like sex ed and like babies and things like that and how this shit works, because you think this is incestuous.
But also, what does he possibly think if he sees a baby cow on a mom cow?
Or any other animal?
Like, what is your
I don't
thought
understand.
process with all your thoughts that you have? I think of a lot of things. I think a lot of things, actually. I think a lot of things. So take that.
Oh
you thought I was stupid, but I think a lot of things, so.
What a fucking...
I had to put that on here because I was just making me laugh because...
So fucking insane.
Absolute
you also... Oh my God. I saw that and I just was so... Like, I am... You know what? She deserves better. Like, how fucking dare you?
Just get fucked.
You clearly don't respect me. No, you clearly don't respect her.
Yeah, and you clearly don't have any education. You know nothing.
My God.
With all those thoughts you have.
Oh my God. Just insane. That...
I don't know, oh God. I feel like I was reading some comments, but I don't know. I couldn't find them anymore, but people were being funny.
Oh, I'm sure. I read a few comments and people were definitely being funny, and I was just like, I just don't...
It's hilarious. I can't. But yeah, that's all I got for everyone today.
Anyway, well, I guess that's where we're ending it, folks. That's the note we're ending on.
Choose being a bad wife over being a bad mom if it means...
Oh my God, seriously. Seriously. Oh, fucking Christ. I can't with that. Anyways, that's it. We're gonna end it there. If you enjoy the podcast, enjoy listening to us banter and everything, please go rate us 5 stars on Apple Podcasts or wherever you can rate the podcast. It always helps us out. If you want to contact us at all, any reason, comments, questions, concerns, topic ideas that you want us to talk about, whatever you want, games you want us to play on the game episodes, anything and everything, you can hit us up on our email, which is chaosandcatspodcast@gmail.com. Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok are at chaosandcatspod, and YouTube is at chaosandcatspodcast. Everything is linked down below in the show notes. that's it.
That's what we got.
That's what we got for you. You got a nice long episode, and future Kaylee is gonna be pissed when she has to edit this for fucking 4 hours. That's okay though.
But
Have a lovely day.
Daily, so.
Have a lovely day. Goodbye.